Good morning, Horizon. We are in Psalm 39 today, and again, when we have longer psalms, I will often not read the whole psalm because if I'm just starting your day off with a thought, there's too much in a long psalm to do. If there's a lot in the psalm that I want to get to, I'll break it up into chunks. But today we're in Psalm 39, and I just want to pull out a couple verses, and I think you'll know why almost immediately. This is the psalmist, Psalm 39, 4 and 5 is what I want to read. Show me, Lord, my life's end and the number of my days. Let me know how fleeting my life is. You have made my days a mere handbreadth, the span of my years as nothing before you. Everyone is but a breath, even those who seem secure. Surely everyone goes around like a mere phantom. In vain they rush about, heaping up wealth without knowing whose it will finally be. But now, Lord, what do I look for? My hope is in you. Save me from my transgressions. Do not make me the scorn of fools. Okay, so I'm going to just focus on 4 and 5 here. I don't know if you know the word nihilism or nihilism. It's kind of this philosophy of despair. You know, when you see everything else and the world seems like it's going to hell in a handbasket. What a strange phrase, by the way, hell in a handbasket. You can just speak like this. But the psalmist isn't in despair. He says, Lord, show me my life's end. Show me the number of my days. Let me know how fleeting my life is. I think he's trying to figure out what's meaningful in this life. How can I give myself to things that maybe have some purpose and meaning, not rushing around like a mere phantom, heaping up wealth without knowing whose it will finally be. I think it's wise of us to say, I don't have an immoral life. Stupid. Good morning, Horizon. Today we're in Psalm 39, and I'm going to read verses 4, 5, and 6, and 7 out of this longer psalm, just because if I only have a minute to kind of give you an idea to start your day, then I can't often go through the whole psalm when it's a little bit longer. So let me read it for you, and then we'll talk about just one idea. Show me, Lord, my life's end and the number of my days. Let me know how fleeting my life is. You've made my days a mere handbreadth. The span of my years is as nothing before you. Everyone is but a breath, even those who seem secure. Surely everyone goes around like a mere phantom. In vain they rush about, heaping up wealth without knowing whose it will finally be. But now, Lord, what do I look for? My hope is in you. It might seem like a fairly dark psalm, fairly nihilistic or nihilistic, like a psalm of despair. What's life? It's passing before me. I'm going to die, the whole bit. I don't think that's the tone here. I think this is a moment where the psalmist is saying, I look around and people live as if they're going to live forever. And it's kind of easy to think that way. But really, life goes by pretty quickly. And I don't want to be one of those who just simply is heaping up wealth and giving myself to meaningless thing. I want to put my hope in the Lord. This pandemic has been really interesting, right? Our ability to control life, plan ahead, right? Have our fingerprints to kind of get it to do what we want. That's gone. It's been kind of taken from us. In some ways, it showed us our powerlessness. For some, it shows us our vulnerability to disease. Maybe there is a lesson there that's good for us. And that is, our life is in God's hands, and we won't live forever. And He does determine the length of our lives and our days. So even in these days, what does it look like to really put our hope in Him and let that hope lead us out into the world to try to give ourselves to meaningful things, not meaningless things? I think the sobering reality of this pandemic is to simply say, Lord, my life is in your hands. My hope is in you. You have the days of my life in your hands. That's not to be foolhardy and to rush out and just kind of go kiss people with COVID. That's not the idea. The idea here is to just simply see God has us, and I have to live before Him in a way that is meaningful and that gives myself to eternal things. Maybe that's a thought that helps you today. Grace and peace to you.